Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? How you doing today, John?
All good here. How are you, Roosevelt?
Oh, I cannot complain. And we have a guest today. How are you today, Dorothy?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking. It's good to be amongst the living.
I know, right? Welcome to
Yes,
2021.
Hey, Dorothy,
yes.
good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good, John. How are you? Happy New Year's to both of you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Happy New Year. This is great to see you, both of
Yes.
y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm always happy to sit here and talk to you guys. Um, I want to introduce Dorothy because Dorothy is a pioneer in this Allendale Strong movement. Just if you can, Dorothy, can you tell us about a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, of course, you know, my name is Dorothy Wiley. I'm the president of Allendale Strong. I've been in Shreveport since Hurricane Katrina 2005, which pushed me and my husband up this way. And when we got here, we wasn't sure if we were going to be returning to New Orleans or what, but we heard about Community Renewal International, and they were building homes over in the Allendale area for Katrina evacuees, and also opening up home ownership for other people who live here in the Shreveport area. So we were blessed and fortunate to be able to purchase one of the homes, and also be a product of helping to build these homes over here by putting in sweat equity. So it's a blessing. We have our home. Again, we moved in our home in 2006. And I chose this home because I said it's a little bit on a hill. And I said, I want to be the light on the hill. So that's where I am.
Okay, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, you being the president of Allendale Strong, previously Loopit, can you give us a
Mhm.
little history on Allendale Strong?
Okay, so even as we moved here in Allendale, I had no idea that Allendale was a target for a freeway to come through. So out of that, once we learned that Loopit was formed, now we are Allendale Strong. It was formed in February of 2012. So now we're going on 9 years. And it was formed in response to a manipulative public process by NLCOG, which is our Northwest Louisiana Council of Government. And what they did, they promoted this destructive, expensive, and unnecessary inner city connector to come through our community so that it could connect I-49 south of the city to I-49 north of the city, which is north of I-220. So once we heard about that and the manipulation that was going on, Allendale Strong became a learning community so that we could better understand the history of these elevated access limited expressways. And since then, uh, I myself and other members of Allendale Strong, we've learned about induced demand. We learned about pollution, how living within 1,500 feet of these expressways, how it causes all types of health problems like heart disease and asthma and preterm labor, because of the exhaust that comes from these cars. So, just being the president of Allendale Strong, our purpose or our goal, we want to inform and we want to teach because we have become a learning community, and we don't want to manipulate, but we want to educate. And this is, for me, since I've been involved in this is not so much about black and white, but it's about wrong and right. And we need to right this thing. And that's why I'm still standing. That's why I'm here, because we need a change in our system. And the system, the transportation system is flawed. The standards of these freeways, they're flawed. The freeway expansions, we need to change these standards. And the way that we're going to change them is that we're going to have to do the work. We're learning about these systems, as far as we need to get that static modeling, that 80-year-old demand out of the way, that says, we can solve congestion by continually building more roads. But what we need is a dynamic modeling. We need more data where it maintains more memory. So I'm still learning about this, and I'm just going to say I'm glad to be a part of this, because it has really pushed me to do more with my community.
I can feel your passion. I felt you. That felt like a speech. I feel like I could go fight a war right now.
Yes. I mean, you know what? And that's what we're in. We are basically battling, between NLCOG and just our community. And again, like I say, we need to inform, and we need to teach, and we need to educate, so people will really know what the real deal is. Because, I mean, for me, okay, so you have your citizens, you have your politicians, you have your pastors, and people believe what they believe. But what we want to do is teach them the truth. We don't want to manipulate, just like they manipulated us coming in and telling us all this jargon. But if we would have never just sit down and just become a learning community, then we would probably be in the same predicament others are in. But I am so glad that now people are opening up their ears so that they can really hear how they are tearing down these freeways and even blocking newly built ones.
Yeah, you know, staying here in the Atlanta area, I told John about the northern arc that they had projected in here in the Atlanta area, and they literally got rid of a governor. And um, now I look at that event so differently, right? Because at first I was thinking, oh, these people got money, we need that, the congestion here in Atlanta is so bad. But I think one of the things that 2020 did was it opened our eyes to the technologies that we have to be able to work from home, to be able to not really need our cars to keep this free market economy going. We have the technology, and um, a lot of that, road congestion and cars everywhere. Like you said, that brings up diseases. That bring up heart and lung, right? That heart disease, because you're sitting in the car all day, you're stressed out, right? You're trying to get home to your family at a good time, but you're sitting on a congested road. What 2020 did, I think, was wake up a lot of people to the thought process of maybe maybe I shouldn't be riding my car all the time. Maybe, the car is not really the best idea. And then we look at places like Houston and Dallas, and I think John, you brought this up about how Houston is even taking down some of their.
Right. They're going to spend $2 billion to rearrange everything and pull out their inner city connectors. Dallas is taking out theirs that separates Deep Ellum from downtown Dallas, and I think that's the 315. Syracuse is announced this year, and they're right in step. Their mayor of Syracuse was excited to see Mayor Pete, who's now going to be Secretary of Transportation, Pete, and announced that he's not building any more highways during his administration through black or brown neighborhoods. There's not a good reason to do that. In fact, the converse is true. It makes cities worse, rather then better. That's why they're removing them and have been since 1995. But you know, Dorothy, we were talking about like Georgia changed governors over a mess like this, and you and I and the group kind of realized we need to change some politicians here locally, and
Yes.
we have started. Election cycles come and go, and we've got newer politicians now that are thinking differently about this. Had the mayor come visit us and tell us this isn't going to happen while he's mayor, for instance. So
Right.
it's been a fascinating 5 years for me. I can't believe you guys have been at it. Y'all were old
Yeah.
hands when I came to
Yes.
my first meeting, and I was the new kid in town. And remember, you called me to interview me after the meeting to size me up and see if I would. Dorothy's
If you were real.
yeah, membership committee, see if I was a spy sent by the mayor or something. I guess I don't know, but I had about an hour-long interview on the phone after my first meeting. But the food was good, so I came back to the next one.
And I'm so glad you came back, John, because you have really helped us and taught us much as far as, communication, because you are a communications person, and just going before, the council members and just different people who we had to present, our documents or present our situation to. You've taught us how to go before them, just be real, and just speak our heart and speak our mind, because we are Allendale. I live here in Allendale. I don't need you to go buy me a house somewhere else or to buy me out so a freeway can come through here. I chose to come into this place. So I appreciate you, John, and I'm glad you're on board.
Well, thank you. You guys, I'm humbled because you guys had already been at it for years. First time I went to a city council meeting, we all went down there together, and it was really emotional. And then remember, Bill got himself thrown out by y'all's District A representative, who's been replaced now.
Yes.
But yeah, that was so. I was like, whoa, this is serious stuff here. And went out into the hall, and all of a sudden, you went from a little nervous to be down there to doing media with all of the local news affiliates. What do you remember from that?
Well, you know what? Like I say, a lot of it can be in the beginning, nervous energy. This was new to me. Just like I said, I didn't know that I was coming into Allendale to face this. I didn't even know this was so until Roy Burrell approached me here in front of my house and said, they're building a freeway through here. And I guess I'm like, a freeway? I'm like, well, why are we building all these homes through here and they're building a freeway through here, but no more nervous energy. It's just truth and facts. And just by being informed and seeing how other cities are tearing down these expressways, how, congestion, by building these freeways, all it's doing is pushing your city further and further out. I have learned so much. And, again,
Same.
I'm just about being informed and informing the people because they don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's the political lie. They weren't building the highway through, they were studying, choosing a route. But that time you went to that meeting and they only gave you 4 choices of routes and they all sucked, basically. They all went through the park and through y'all's homes, right? Tell them about that. And then they grabbed somebody and pulled them out of the meeting. They keep throwing people out of meetings if they don't. So
basically, when we had our first meeting with them, we met at the church over here. Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament was our first meeting. And they really didn't want us there because now we had become informed how they were manipulating us and not telling the truth and, we had signed cards, saying we didn't want to be a part of it. And then our next meeting was at Mount Canaan. They threw Lewis out the meeting. He's a part of Allendale Strong. They didn't want us to say nothing. They didn't want us to talk to other people because we were telling them the truth, because they want to get their lies through, that this was the best thing to do. So it was a mess. And it has been since then. And those same lies are prevailing now. And that's why I'm saying, people are saying this is about a black and white thing, but you know what? A lot of our leaders over here who are black, they're for this freeway to come through. So we can't say it's about a black and white thing or the whites against the black. It's about wrong and right. These people have property over here that they've locked up and, don't want to let it go because they are waiting to make some money off of it. And even with the routes that they gave us for this freeway to come through, all it's going to do is for the people who live here is to pit neighbors against each other, because it might not affect me, but it might affect my neighbor. So, I mean, it's always something. There's still division in the community, so let's do what's right. Let's inform, let's teach, let's show them what we need to have done. And the thing, like I say, we need to change our system. We need to change it. And the only way we're going to do it, we got to have a voice, because everybody should have a part in this.
Well, in the council of government system pits the government of Caddo Parish and the government of Bossier Parish and the government of DeSoto Parish. All these different counties governments are pitted against each other. Do you build it through your parish or your parish? And all of that's just so wrong. It's not the way to develop an area, is to pit one side against the other like that. It creates a lot of needless conflict, but we're stuck with that system. So after when they dragged Lewis out of that meeting, didn't they kind of grab him by the arm and just pull him away?
Yeah,
and that led to a letter. Wasn't that y'all's first letter to the Federal Highway Administration about the way this was conducted?
Right. I mean, it was really ugly. It was just sad, that the way the meeting was conducted and the form and the shape that it took, trying to shut us up. You don't put your hands on anyone. We have a voice, and we should be able to voice what we need to say without us being pulled out. Look, we're in our community. You came in our community, and this is the treatment that we're going to get. Oh, no, we're not going to stand for it. So yes, okay, we're fighting, and we're going to continue to fight. You know what? This is me. I'm in the fight, but the battle belongs to the Lord, and it's not over with yet. And you're not going to shut us down. You're not going to sit us down, but we're going to continue to do what we have to do until this thing is over. As a matter of fact, I remember in one of the meetings, council meetings that we went to, I was up talking and I said, who resurrected this? Because John, like you said, they had killed this thing in what? Sister Margaret back in 1995 or 1980 after I asked that question, what his name, Burrell got up and said, I'm the one who resurrected it.
Right, Roy
like
Burrell,
right. Just like you, somebody's savior. You ain't nobody's savior. No, you can't resurrect nothing. No, this thing is dead for real. It really does. It really makes me upset to think that people who have power can talk down and do what they want to do and say what they want to say out of order, And then at that same meeting, Kent Rogers, he told me, he said, oh, shut up, go sit down. I'm just like, wow, these people.
Kent Rogers. Oh, no.
Yes, he did. He did. And I just looked at him, and at that moment, you know what? It was just like, bridle your tongue. And I did. I bridled my tongue because you know what? I'm Dorothy. I'm nice, I'm loving, but I have a little hurricane in me. So I just bridled
Yeah,
my
you
tongue
do.
and went on and took,
I
and
was in
took
that
my
storm
seat.
too that time. I got a little bit of that hurricane in me, you know. And then I'm reminded of the time that Councilman Bradford kicked he Bill Weiner out. He's like the supreme architect of the. He's part of the Weiner family that has built amazing places all over the United States. Throws him out of the meeting, and the cops drug him out.
And
He's
that
like
was so
75 or something. It was just
that was so
horrible.
sad. I mean,
And
it
that
was
was
almost
Lewis
like
that
they,
got up and
I
ran and
mean,
checked.
all his papers just fell off the podium, and it was almost like they just grabbed him, old man, just wrestled him
Mm-hmm.
down and drug him on out. You know, it's just like, really? This is, guys, look, these are our politicians. These are
Yeah.
the people that are supposed to be standing up for us. But instead of doing that, they're, oh God, it's ugly. And you know
Yeah.
what? Yes, they need to come out of office, and Willie Bradford has come out. I am so glad, because he has never done anything for Allendale. Never. And the thing about it, this is what gets me. He grew up over here. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from Allendale, but once I started searching out all this information, I'm like, Willie Bradford grew up over here. They had a family home here, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm just like, really? This is what you want to see? So a lot of the old neighbors, they know him because they grew up over here with him, you know. But for you to come in just because you've gotten and gone somewhere else, you don't do that. Help build up, because you know what? The same bridge that you burned, that might have to be the bridge to bring you back over.
So let
I'm
Right.
me
just
give
saying.
a quick disclaimer. Willie Bradford is a part of my family. I think he's like my second cousin. So, but that I am not here to apologize to him, and I am not here to endorse him.
Well, tell
So
him what,
let me
you
go
know,
ahead.
and I
Disclaimer.
respect his past because he was a leader here in civil rights when that was hard to do, when that was really hard. So I respect that. But he said the most condescending thing to the media when we all got in the hall there.
Oh,
And then they went to interview him at his office. Tell him what he said,
he
Dorothy.
said those little people over in Allendale don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Right.
Wrong. You know what? And my response was, wonder did he know that they're building little houses now that they put on the back of trailers that they can move and go and sit it up wherever they want to be. You know what? I'm fine with my little house over here. And I do have a pot to piss in. And if I need to throw it out a window, I can throw it out one, but my toilet flushes just well.
I like that.
Right. And he was actually violating a very minor law, ethical law, because of the family property in the past. So he really is not supposed to vote on anything that has anything to do with something that might enrich him or a member of his family, which that his mom's house was in one of the routes. So
Right.
he was violating the law, but we didn't really pursue it because it's more trouble than the $25 fine he could have incurred. But it was wrong what he did.
Yeah.
I don't mind calling him out on it, but I will say he did some remarkable things. I remember when he sat in on the Caddo Parish School Board meeting with other African Americans to basically say you can't conduct this meeting if you can't seat African Americans on the school boards. So I understand his history and respect it, but I don't know why he doesn't respect Shreveport and the people of Allendale, because this is not just bad for Allendale, it's bad for the whole city of Shreveport. And we're in this horrible mess we're in. Think Flint, Michigan 15 years ago. That's where we are here is, or Detroit in the 90s. We're almost bankrupt and have really no future if we don't start doing things well again here. So,
I mean, I think we talked about this on the last podcast. Is a lot of times people don't understand what they have until they go somewhere else and see what other people don't have. I always bring up the notion of you don't know how poor you are until you see somebody else that's even
Right.
poorer, right?
right,
So right now, I was explaining to somebody at Shreveport, if you could report to other mid-sized, and Shreveport has something that most mid-sized cities don't have, and that is a actual tourist industry, right? People come here because of the boats, right? People come here because of the food. People come here because of different things. And I talk to my father who stays in Dallas all the time. I say, well, I ask him, why do you come to Shreveport to gain? Like his wife, she's actually from New Orleans also. I think the third ward, I think. And she was saying, he was saying, we go to Oklahoma because it's close. But if we want to do anything else outside of, gaming, we go to Shreveport because, at least we can get something good to eat outside the casino or whatever. And I've always felt that Shreveport has never taking that into consideration. Think of all the different industries that came through Shreveport, and the movie industry, right? I
yeah,
think, I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, man, you know what I need to do? I need to open an Airbnb and put nothing but True Blood stuff in it.
right. That's right.
What was that? The old building that they burned down right around the corner. That was an old brothel that they burned
Right.
down for the True Blood movie. All right,
Yeah.
that'd be just a great thing to build back and make it an Airbnb and just throw all True Blood, stuff in there, right? And just
Right.
Airbnb, True Blood, boom, right? But Shreveport has so much history. We go back to the country showcase they used to have. What was the name of that?
Oh, Louisiana Hayride. Right.
Yeah.
Right. We could have been Nashville if I always say that we've made our tourism industry out of offering Texans something they'd be embarrassed to be seen doing at home, like visiting a brothel. Then later it was casino gambling that was illegal in the back room of the brothels, and on through legal gaming and casinos, and but yeah, so people come here. I was working on movie sets, and people would stumble up into the municipal auditorium, which was home to Louisiana Hayride and all of that great music history. And they would say, could I get a tour? No, because we weren't offering tours. So I'd say, come on in, I'll give you a tour while I'm on my break. And I would show them around where Hank Williams and Elvis Presley and all of the greats of country music. But the other one is we don't take advantage of Huddy Ledbetter. Leadbelly was based in Shreveport and played at the Blue Goose, which that neighborhood was almost wiped out completely by I-20 when they built the I-20 intercity connector through Shreveport in the 60s. But the Blue Goose is still standing, and Huddy Ledbetter's music is still celebrated all around the world. And they have festivals for Huddy Ledbetter, Leadbelly, in Europe and in New York. But we don't have a Leadbelly festival here. It would be an amazing blues festival, and I'm sure the Leadbelly family would support it. His grave's here. There's just so much history here in this region that we're not banking on, but they want to build $1 billion highway 2-3 miles of slab, and they think that'll fix everything. And it can't be completed for 20 years anyway. Let's do something now in the meantime, while we wait for that issue to settle, right? So, yeah.
Right.
So,
And
Dorothy,
the thing about it is, it's something how these rich people or powerful people hold on to this money and just lock this money down and don't do anything, to make our city better, especially for our young people. My granddaughter was just telling me, she says, Gran, she says, when I finish, she goes to Grambling. She says, I think I'm gonna move to Texas. I mean, our people are leaving here. Our young people, what do we have to offer them? I mean, we could have some things to offer them, but like I say, the rich and the powerful, they're holding this money to do whatever they want to do with it, which I'm going to say is to bring this freeway through. Freeway not going to help these young people. It's not going to educate them. They're not going to make any money off of it because they're not going to be a part of some of that, building that. No, we need to stop. We need to look and see, how can we help our young people? How can we help our people here that are already here? But it's time for a change, for real.
So I hate to put you on the spot, Dorothy, but I'm gonna ask this question I asked John last time. What is
Okay.
your ideas? Do you have any ideas to, instead of the billions of dollars to spend that money go through inner city Shreveport, what should we?
Okay, so this is my spin on it. And because I've been other places, okay, so I lived in Portland, Oregon, okay? And when I lived there, I didn't see gentrification coming through, but as I was there, it set in. But this is what I'd like to see. I really like to see a business boulevard. I see that now in Portland. I mean, the city is progressing. I see walking parks. I see bicycling. I mean, they have all types of modes of transportation. They're on scooters, they're on their cars, in their cars, they're, on their bicycles, they're walking through the parks, they're running, they have food trucks. These boulevards are full of everything and all people from, I mean, every race of people probably has a business, and people are coming from everywhere enjoying all of this. I believe Shreveport can be the same way with a business boulevard. You can have always told John, I said, John, when we get the business boulevard, I'm gonna have a little restaurant in the back, and I'm gonna have the bicycle shop. When people come in that don't want to drive, they're going to be able to rent them a bicycle and, and bike down the boulevard. I'm looking at Swepco Park, how that can be a walking area. I mean, they do a lot of that. I'm telling you, our city would really be impacted with great benefits. We can bring income in here if we just do the right thing. So off the record, that's what I want to see. I want to see a business boulevard with all kinds of shops and biking and walking and, people coming together. That's what bring people together. Vehicles not going to bring people together. You think I'm going to stop my car on the highway and say, hey, what's going on? No, I'm keep on going. But if I'm out in the public, walking, biking, going up and down the business boulevard, that's exercise. I mean, those are dreams. That's how you meet people. That's how you invest in. Hey, how did you start that? Where did you get your food truck from? How can we do that? I mean, it's many things we can do here. We have the land to do it. We have the people to do it. But we got to get rid of these old foggy politicians and these power to be and these old rich people who, just want to do what they want to do with their money. But if you need somebody to advise you and help you in building up your city, then just come and say, hey, let me put my money here to keep my grandchildren here, or even to keep my children here so they won't go to other places. So yeah, that's why I travel a lot. I get out of Shreveport because ain't nothing here. Okay.
I mean, yeah, you have to. I mean, I can't blame you. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so, but I tell people all the time that, a lot of you have to get out, right? You have to get away, but you also have to have a place you call home, right?
And
And you
and
have to
I
have a,
do.
yeah, yeah, and you have a place you call home, and Atlanta Strong, and the organization that you helped put together is is here to build Shreveport and to build Allendale into a place that more people can call home and be happy to call home.
Right. You know what, Roosevelt? This is one thing my mother always taught us. She says, it's bigger than Shreveport. Go somewhere and learn some sense, then come back. We all
There you
left
go.
here. I,
There you go.
I left here. I went and learned some sense, and now I'm back fighting for what we need to have here.
There
So
you go.
a lot of these, I'm telling you, some of these people haven't even been over in Bossier City or as far as Bossier City. They probably haven't even been to Bend, or as far as they go is to Dallas, which is right down the street. You know, because I mean, it only takes what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Some and people in Portland and other places I've lived, it take them that long to get to their job from their home.
Mhm.
You know, really. So again, this is go somewhere, leave here. It's bigger than this. Go somewhere, learn some sense, see what other cities are doing, then come back and incorporate what you've learned.
Yeah, yeah. You're so right. You're so right. And we're going to end it there. Thank you, Dorothy, for
I
checking in with us.
enjoyed being on this podcast. And I hope that something was said that, will change people's focus on what we're trying to do here in Shreveport, which I did mention. Allendale Strong's focus is and has always been a business boulevard as the inner city connector for local business traffic. That's
There
our
you go.
focus.
There you
Thank
go.
you so
There you
much
go.
for having me.
No problem. And thank you, John, once again. I
Isn't she
always your
great?
insight is needed.
Yeah.
I mean, she's wonderful. She's wonderful.
Yeah,
You know we're going to
that's
have her
why.
again.
There was good food at the meeting, and Dorothy conducted the meeting like a pro. So I had to keep coming back. I've been back now for only 5 years. I've been at this, but I've learned so much. So yeah, thank you so much for hosting us, Roosevelt,
you.
all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, not Texas. Thank you, Roosevelt.
Hey,
Thanks,
man,
Roosevelt.
anytime. And I'm going to tell all the people that's checking in, that's listening to this podcast or watching the YouTube video, please subscribe. Please like. That'll help the YouTube algorithm. Please make sure that you subscribe, you check back with us. And if you are in Shreveport or anywhere else, go to the Allendale Strong Facebook page. Check us out. Check out our website. We're going to have more of these podcasts. We have more of this information and more people to come on that's going to inspire us, just like Dorothy has today. And it's going to give us more information about other ways that cities are prospering all over the world. Thank you for checking us out, and have a great and prosperous new year. Goodbye.